Hey, welcome to Social Club for a brand new week with a whole new set of topics and some different people. Well, not different, but different. But not like that. Like in the they're just different. Baz is back. Lou's back. Ped's here, as ever. But
I just live. Literally, I'm when the lights go off. I'm still here. I'm just waiting for Social Club to restart.
You get the duster and dust the cobwebs off just on Mondays. Like, get all ready to go.
Wind it up.
No, oh my God.
Wind them up.
Shut up, Ron.
Anyway, you throwing Harry Potter references?
Yeah. He started. He's doing it again.
He just had a Harry Potter slap fight sat next to me.
It's the geekiest fight of them all.
And it's also, unfortunately, the most serious topic that we're going to do in the day, so let's get stuck straight into it. Anthony Gray, Burnley centre forward, as most of you will know by now, post the game of the weekend, people went, I think, digging through his Twitter history and found some, less than well-advised tweets from the past. In fact, I may as well read it, let's get through it if you haven't seen it. Is it me or are there gays everywhere? Which, there's a simple answer to that, and the answer is yes. Yes, there are, Andre. Welcome to the 21st century. But then he goes on to make a few sort of choices with his hashtag after the fact. He's since apologised for it. He said, I would like to respond to media reports with regards to my previous tweets posted from my Twitter account. Firstly, I want to offer a sincere and unreserved apology to anyone I may have offended in relation to these tweets, which would be every human being, to be fair. The tweets were posted 4 years ago when I was a completely different person to the man I am now. I was at a very different point in my life back then, one that I've worked hard to move on from. Thankfully, a lot has changed in my life since then. I've experienced a lot over those past 4 years, and I've had to take responsibility for a number of things in my life, which has enabled me to mature and grow as a person since that time. I have a lot of regrets regarding a number of things I've done in the past and realise I've made some mistakes, no more so than the tweet. Baz, I mean, first and foremost, before we come on to the apology kind of thing, I mean, it goes without saying that sentiments like that have no place, they don't have any place in football, they don't have any place in society.
There's nothing more to say, is there, than that, than what you've just said. It's, you can't, it amazes me that people with profiles like that, someone's not looking out for them, getting rid of it, because why you would post that anyway is incredible, isn't it?
I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it, that he was playing for Hinckley at the time. This is 4 years ago.
I know, but Paul, it's in any walk of life now. If you go for a job, any job, forget football, forget the profile of it. Most companies go through social media stuff. It's what happens if you're posting. Why do you feel necessary to go on and post that?
Yeah,
which is strange that a Premier League club didn't.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's very strange. Can I ask one question? Are they still on his Twitter account, by the way?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
They were on his Twitter account on Saturday.
Yeah.
Are they
still in now, though?
That's
the bigger question, because I'm not, like, they are the most ridiculous things that you can say, but people do say them. So people say things on Twitter all the time for whatever reason, whether to get a rise out of people or whatever. It's mad, it's stupid. But if you're gonna, just on the flip side, why didn't the club look into these? Why don't, I mean, honest to God, Premier League football clubs have staff for everything to cover every single eventuality. Why haven't the football club gone through his Twitter account anyway? I mean, because we've had MPs elected where people have gone through the Twitter. It should be just a general thing now. That girl in Scotland who'd said a few things, young and stupid. Why aren't the club looking through these things?
The thing is, mate, especially like last year we had Vardy, Chatchik, everyone. That was in 2011, got recycled. So why weren't football clubs then going, right, clearly people are able to find these. Why aren't we going through it then?
I think what the chat shit gets
Speaking of someone who's young and stupid.
Yeah.
Knew this was coming. What do you want?
Well, you did walk in with that haircut, kid, so...
That's the ped, that, isn't it?
No, definitely not.
Look,
that's definitely not.
Better than
Go on, Louis, what were you saying?
That's the Tunbridge Wells.
This is the thing. I can't say anything serious when Ped's it. I think there's a big difference between the chat shit get banged and what this is. I think chat shit get banged, it can be taken in multiple ways, whereas that is just
my point about that, I'm not putting it on the same level. I'm saying that tweet from 2011 was recycled many times last year.
There's an example.
Therefore, tweets on footballers' accounts, if you were a footballer at that time, the amount of hours they have to sit there and twiddle their thumbs right, let's go through mine and remove anything that may be offensive to which that's clear. That can't be construed any different way other than offensive. It's horrendous. It's ridiculous. As his profile has gone bigger and bigger. He done it when he was playing for who? Hinckley or something?
Where is Hinckley?
It's in Leicestershire. It's actually Toryville. It's where my father-in-law's from.
There you go. But the thing about it is, though, I mean,
Paul's not saying his father's a Tory.
No, I am
he
saying my
probably
father-in-law's a Tory. He's a father-in-law.
That's fair enough. But I think
definitely not.
also, though, the lad's representative, what's his job? You know, because I'm not going to say all young footballers are stupid, but they're quite sheltered. They don't know what exists. They come into football clubs when they're very young. They're protected at every level, which is now, we're getting told now is an issue because they're just not streetwise at all. They're not smart. Their views are very focused because they've just got like all the young lads around them, and it's all you know, it's all just like lads. You know, it's proper. That's what they are.
Do you think it might be because he's come through that he hasn't had that protection?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what agents get a bad rap from football fans because everyone says they're always selling the players and all that. But an agent's job is to be a footballer's manager, a personal manager. It's their job. We've all seen Jerry Maguire. It's their job. No, but that's the way to look at it, isn't it? It's their job to look after the needs of their clients, and they should have looked at that. And let's be honest, from footballers' Twitter's accounts are probably actually handled by their agents. Especially the very savvy ones. You know, they'll put all their media and commercial commitments on Twitter, and it should be his agents has really let them down here.
Yeah.
And I know people will go, no, it's the player. But the player might be just very stupid.
No, but I think you're onto something because look, the fact of the matter is, I think it's right. We see it ourselves. Everyone's done it, and everyone's kind of done it. We all favourite a tweet. You know, when someone says something outlandish, we've all been guilty of going, I'll favourite that. I'll come back to that because you know what, I'm gonna absolutely nail that dickhead when Liverpool go on to win the league. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know, it's and you prepare yourself for it. But you know, and this is the problem with social media and online is that you're not allowed to have changed your opinion because once you've said something, you said it as though you can't change or grow as a human being. So in that instance, listen, 4 years is a long time. You know, I think we could all say between the age of like 20 and 24, we'd all, you know, that's a pivotal part of your life in terms of you go from being post-teenage years to actually being in the real world and meeting people. Trust me, it'll come. But you know, you do make it massive. That's a massive period of your life. But you're right. I think you've nailed that perfectly, Pep, because of what you were driving towards. Is that
perfect?
He's entitled to grow as a human being. But if he's going to grow and change as a human being, then his management have got to protect that change. Because if he's still a raging homophobe or whatever, then listen, he deserves to be out and it deserves to be sorted, he deserves to be punished. But if he's grown as a person, which he's entitled to have done, then his management have fucked him there because that's just his past, which should be, you know, you could be allowed to let go of and grow as a person. He's being brought back up to
I think the other things that you got to remember as well, you know, he's playing for Hinckley, and I don't know anything about the place, I'm not going to cast aspersions, but he might have felt like he was playing to the crowd there. You know, he's got a very small outlook on the... No, but you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he was, but go ahead.
No, okay, but I'm just saying he's playing to the crowd there, very small sort of remit. He might have had a few...
He's probably just playing to his mates.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
Crowd
as such. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by the crowd. He's playing to his mates and he's, you know, giving it all this, and they'll talk about that. And as his career has accelerated, now he's got to realise that he's in the big wide world of Burnley.
Yeah.
And no, he's in the Premier League now, and he's opened himself up to the world, especially on Saturday. He's suddenly gone from, in the world eyes of a lot of people, nobody, to suddenly this guy who scored a goal against Liverpool in the Premier League, and it's just pure stupidity.
It's one of them, isn't it? It is indefensible what he's done there, but I mean, again, it sounds like I'm going to defend it, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form. But kids put stupid things online all day, every day, and when he's probably a semi-pro footballer playing, which makes him essentially just a normal guy on the street by all accounts. to then there's a massive difference between being at the top end of football or whatever. Again, it doesn't defend the actions. It's more just one of those things that he could have he's probably got lads who are in that team or lads around that age who are his mates who are probably working in the co-op now, and you would never know that they held those opinions.
Potentially still hold those
exactly,
opinions.
because they haven't grown as human beings. They've actually regressed as human beings or whatever. But I think it boils down to.
I think the thing about it is that the issue. You can totally condemn everything he said, of course, but the issue is, do we change as a human being? Are we allowed to have one view at one age and one at a different age, or do we punish? Is it you don't forgive because it's obviously what he said is unforgivable, but do we just say, well, you know what? That was then and this is now, and we're
it has to be
moving
a case of that was then and this is now, because I can safely say I've changed a lot in 4 years. You can't. Everyone does. You do change your opinion on a lot of things. I mean, you can't. He might just be putting it all on because that might be what his agent said. He might be just saying, well, obviously I still believe everything I said.
Well, because he's not going to come out and go, well, yeah, actually, I'm just going to hold my hands up now. I have got a problem with an entire section of humanity. It's never going to happen. But you have to give him the benefits of the doubt because
it's human nature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And sometimes people take advantage of that, and you never know, he could be. But I mean, I'm sure he has changed his opinion. That's because that's stupid. That's just stupid.
Yeah, I think the point is that it's as though we're judge, jury, and executioners. We'll give him one more. We'll give him one more.
Yeah.
But the point is that ultimately everyone does stupid things. You'd like to believe in a society where people can go, you know what, look, I'm dead. That was a stupid, idiotic thing. But I've grown up, I've changed, and I deeply regret it. Great, mate. Carry on with your life. But honestly, if you've not changed, it'll come out. You know what I mean? Which is probably.
We also live in a society where if you do something good, people are prepared to dig into your past to see if you've ever done something wrong.
Yes.
Which I know it's not the topic, but that's also a little bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the thing about it is he tweeted that at a time when he was was just playing football and for his team in the local area, getting a few quid. He's never thought this will come back when I'm a Premier League footballer scoring against Liverpool. But like Ped said before, someone's got to try and look at, from his point of view, someone's got to be protecting him.
There's a great line. We're actually reading a Liverpool book at the moment on Liverpool players in the noughties, and an interview with Michael Owen, and he basically says people expect you to be it's like being a role model is demanded upon you automatically because you're a footballer. And again, it's different, I think, when you've been in an academy of a top club since you were 8 or 9 and you've been literally conditioned a certain way. But like I say, and again, it's not defender behaviour in any way, shape or form. But the fact is, he's just a scally kid from somewhere. He's probably very ignorant and lived a very sheltered life. And then to be put all of a sudden, like you say, bang, he's a Premier League star, which equals he must be a role model, which means that everyone will automatically look for a way to bring him down.
In society, you're born into what you're born into. If your group of friends are like that, and that's the view, unless you travel and you experience other things, that quite easily can be the path that you follow. And that just could have been a way of life for wherever he was living, and that's the viewpoint that you carry.
Joey Barton put it quite well
to help him.
Yeah, Joey Barton put it quite well, and he said, I know him as well as anyone. He's 100% not homophobic. One of the nicest lads you can meet. Who hasn't said dumb things when they're young, says Joey Barton. He should be held up as an example to kids from troubled backgrounds, and that's it. I think it's easy in some instances to say, we can ignorant. There's not. I think we always said this, and this is a problem with football. Everyone always looks for sticks to beat people. Yeah. Education's the key to things like this. It's not to say you're an absolute disgusting human being. It's not like he's on the... Listen, if he's turning up for EDL meetings every weekend and he's getting the bed sheets out and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But that kind of behaviour consistently, it's still education's still the solution to these things. It's still, if he doesn't get it, he needs to be explained to why it's not a good thing. But the fact is, again, benefit of the doubt, he's aware of how stupid he was there. Perhaps he's not clever, but then he's not been clever enough to go back and delete that.
If he like Joe Barton's just said there, he makes a very valid point. I never thought I'd say that about Joe Barton, where he says he can be a role model for kids from troubled backgrounds. If this was something potential, it could be something, I don't know, potentially for him to build on. His agent better be, listening. I mean, but sort of like he could, for example, sort of when he retires, he could be like motivational speaker about that sort of stuff.
Sure,
it's a sort of thing where he has to look at it. Maybe not him, but maybe his agents look at him and go, right, what can we do with
It's
this?
a very,
How can we
it's
build
a
on
very
it?
middle class football thing to do, isn't it? To look at kids from certain backgrounds and hold them up to a standard set by people who were raised into nice, educated, tolerant families and expect everyone to come on the same journey that you've come on. Listen, if he's grown as a human being and he ultimately never does anything to people like that, then again, I don't speak for the LGBT community or whatever, and if people want to take umbrage, that's entirely their right to do just that. But I would be more encouraged by a notion of someone educating themselves, becoming more world wise, and being disgusted by their actions as a kid than someone who was so ignorant and felt that was an okay way to
I think the most important thing is that this happened 4 years ago, and if it's not happened since, then people really do have to just say, well, it might have just been one stupid thing.
He was a dickhead at the time.
I mean, as long as his internet history doesn't get online, then I think we're all right.
Yeah, I think we're all right if that happens, as long as that doesn't happen, to be fair. But let us know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I'll share a bit of it's a tricky subject at the very best of times, but yeah, let us know your thoughts. Are you prepared to obviously give people like Antic the benefit of the doubt in these situations? You should be, to be fair, because that's called being human. But yeah, and obviously, in terms of what we're talking about, in terms of the agents, the management of footballers need a little bit. I guess no one would say more protection because it automatically creates like, footballers have got loads of money, yada, yada, yada. But, sometimes people do need to be educated and protected from themselves. Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, some lighter topics to come. We're going to be laughing at Arsene Wenger again. Not really. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford and whether has he got a career under Jose Mourinho at Man United, and a little bit of David Moyes chat because you haven't done that in a while, boys. So stay tuned to Social Club. And subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel if you haven't done so already.